Hey everyone, Plasma Dragon 15 here with a Wi-Fi battle against HeyDude696969. Yeah, and this is a UU match, and this is probably one of the most epic matches I have ever had in a long time. So yeah, we both have Mesprit leads, which is hilarious, and I T-wave his as he sets up wait, what did he do? Stealth Rocks? Yeah, he set up Stealth Rocks, I think. So yeah, he sets up a light screen, so this tells me he's a dual screen Mesprit, because he also set up Reflect, so I send an Umbreon, because he can't do anything to me, so I set up a Wish, because I figured he would U-turn, because that's what most dual screeners do, and yeah, he U-turns out and goes into a Donphan. So I'm thinking, dang, he's gonna rapid spin away, like, this team is like based on entry hazards, as you will see later on. So yeah, he actually goes for Earthquake, and I actually predict that and go into Mesprit because it was obvious, and I get the Wish, which is lols, because it didn't matter. So he goes into his own Mesprit, and I predict the switch and go for Thunderbolt. Because, yeah, who else would go for a Thunderbolt on Donphan? Yeah, I'm an idiot. So I send it Amistar, as he goes for a U-turn, because he knows I'm going to switch, and he goes out into a Lantern. So I figured he's probably going to over-predict, because he might go for a T-Bolt on Amistar, so I might as well set up some Toxic Spikes here. And he does over-predict, I believe, and goes for a T-Wave on my Amistar, and I set up Toxic Spikes, which is amazing. Because seeing a Lantern, I definitely want that thing toxic. Because my only ground type attacker is like special base, so that kind of sucks. So I go into Umbreon, and he goes for a T-Bolt. So yeah, and he makes a really smart play here. Like, I was actually impressed with this. He goes for a T-Wave on my Umbreon, because he knows that Umbreon carries Toxic, and he probably thought I was going to Toxic him. So he used T-Wave to activate Synchronize so that he would get paralyzed so that he can't be toxic, which is really, really pretty cool and smart, actually. But I kind of predicted that and go for a Wish, because, yeah, that was really smart of him, though, I have to admit. So, yeah, I go for a payback on the Switch, but I get Parahacks, so I'm like, they really matter, but that Mesprit would have been dead faster. Whatever, you get the point. So, yeah, I go on the Amistar, because, well, Mesprit's my setup fodder. Because I was kind of afraid of T-Bolt, but he doesn't have that, so that's cool. So I was going to lay out some more spikes or toxic spikes, but I get Parahack, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, he U-turns out, and he goes into a Drifblim. So I knock off on the switch, thinking he might have gone into Lantern, but bleh. And that's the knockoff was probably the worst attack I could have chosen, because I knock off his Chesto Berry. And you'll see why. Like, I did, like, Drifblim's ability, Unburden, I did not know that it activates when you use knockoff. I thought it only activated when he uses the item. So that screwed me, and you will see why in a second. So he goes for Hidden Power of Fighting, and I kinda saw that coming. And I go for Payback, thinking that he might switch because, well, it's Umbreon against Drifblim. But he has Hidden Power of Fighting, which is cool. So, yeah. So I use Wish here, thinking he might Calm Mind again, seeing that he can't 2-hit KO me. So I go into Leafeon here, and he goes for a Calm Mind, and this is where it screwed me, right here. Because I was going to go for a Grass Whistle to put him into sleep, but he's faster than me, and I was like, what the fuck, man? Seriously, how is he faster than me? And then, like, I was talking to somebody, and I asked them, does Knockoff activate Unburden? And they're like, yeah, it makes him lose his item. He doesn't have to use it, he just has to lose it. And that rhymed there, and I was like, oh, freak, man. So yeah, I go into Toxicroak. I use Sucker Punch, but he predicts that I goes for Calm Mind. Then he probably predicted me to go for like Stone Age, so he went for an attack, but I just go for Sucker Punch and kill it off. So yeah, he goes into a Girafarig, and I don't want to take a Psychic, so I go into Umbreon to wall it, but he goes for a freaking Trick, and I get Choice Scarf, and I was like, oh my god, outplayed. So that was kind of impressive there, and he tricked me and took my leftovers because he's a bitch like that, and yeah. Well, he is named Palin after all, but still. Oh, burn on Palin, but yeah. So I go out into Umbreon. Well, I was already out in the Umbreon, but he switches out, I meant, into Mesprit, so I go for a Wish. And he goes for a Reflect as I pass the Wish to Amistar here, because Mesprit's basically my setup fodder for entry hazards here. Because it doesn't have T-Bolt, and yeah, I set up Toxic Spikes to, get that Donphan and whatever his last guy is. And he goes out into Girafarig as I set up Spikes. And I fear Energy Ball, because I know those things can learn Energy Ball for some godforsaken reason. So I go out into Mesprit. But he ends up going for Hidden Power Fighting, which is kind of cool. Because I usually only see, I do see hidden power fighting on those things, but I usually see energy ball when they like switch into like Quagsire or whatever. But yeah. So Mesprit takes that like a beast, and yeah, I switch out because I know those things can probably learn Shadow Ball. I probably could have went into Umbreon, but I didn't because it would probably useless because it's Scarf. So I go back out into Amistar because Amistar really can't do much now, so he's pretty much useless to me now. So I know I can take a hidden power fighting with a special defense this thing has that I gave. So I take this time to lay out my second layer of spikes, which is pretty cool. And yeah, he kills me off with Shadow Ball. Just in case I switched, and yeah, Amistar goes down. So finally, a Pokemon went down after a while, because the beginning of this match was very, very long, but it speeds up in a second. So I go out in a Mesprit. He goes for a Shadow Ball. And I was thinking that an Ice Beam would kill this thing, but I completely forgot that Light Screen was still up. So he takes Ice Beam really, really nicely, and yeah, he lives. So I really don't want to lose Mesprit. For some reason, I just wanted to save it because it's a Pixie, probably. So I go out into Umbreon as he goes for the Shadow Ball, and Umbreon takes that really nicely. And I know that I can take a freaking Hidden Power Fighting from a Giraffe Rig. So I used Wish here, but I get Parahacks. So, I would have passed it to Mesprit, but I don't think it actually mattered all in the end, because I didn't, well, I don't care. It was an epic match. I'm really glad that the turnout actually came to what it did. So I used Payback here, because I couldn't lock myself in anything, because I got Parahacks. He probably predicted a switch there, so he went for a U-turn, but I just stayed in, and he goes out into Lantern. So I'm like, cool. I don't know what else to say about that. But yeah, he goes out in the Lantern. So I go on and talk to Croak, and I'm thinking, oh, I can OKO you with Cross because you suck. But I miss. Then he uses T-Ball, so I'm like, okay, cool. Parahacks. A miss and then a Parahacks. Am I really that unlucky recently? Toxicroak, why have you been failing me? But yeah, I go for Cross Chop and I do OKO it, which sucks, because, well, now I'm paralyzed, so yeah. But I have priority, so I'm like, Vacuum Wave, you're gonna die after Stealth Rock. No, it lives. It freaking lives. So, yeah. So I use Vacuum Wave again, don't get Parahacks, then Mesprit dies. Freaking bitch. Needed to die. God, the thing was annoying. So he goes out into Arcanine. He gets raped by all the entry hazards as I go out into Camerupt. Now, I could have still won the match here, because if I went for a Rock Polish on Camerupt, I could have definitely swept the rest of his team, which is only Donphan and Arcanine. But I went for Earth Power here because I figured, well, most Arcanines carry Extreme Speed, so he's probably going to finish me off next turn with that. So I just went for Earth Power, but it turns out that Arcanine didn't have Extreme Speed, it was an Agility one, so that's cool. So yeah, the Donphan comes out, he kills me off with Earthquake, so Camerupt goes down. And I'm going on the Mesprit thinking I can outspeed, but turns out this is like a Rock Polish sweeping Donphan, which is really cool actually. I have one myself, they're pretty nice. So he outspeeds my Mesprit, goes for a Surge and kills me off. So really good game, HeyDude. One of the best matches I've had in a long time, and the first time that team has lost. So really impressed with that. So good game, dude.